Good morning, friends. Welcome back. All right. See, today is our second demo session. I just want to inform you, I just want to take a small session today, actually. I'm not completely well. I'm actually having some fever and some headache actually from last night. So please excuse me for this small session. Okay. Hopefully we'll see some basic things today, and most probably by tomorrow, I'll be all right to take the regular sessions. All right. So let's see. Let's take a small session and let's see what we can do today. And the rules remain same here. The chat box is always open here, friends. If you have any doubts, any questions, send your questions in chat box so that I can address every question there. All right? Fine. So remember what we have discussed yesterday? Yesterday it was majorly about our package, right? Okay, so what we have in our package? We have three courses in our package. One is your Linux server administration. CCNA is the second course, and third one is your Amazon Web Services, right? These are the three things we have in our package. Okay. And like I said, you friends, if someone is interested in only one Linux administration course, it's up to them. They can just go with that Linux administration course. Okay, if that is their requirement, they can just go with that Linux administration course. But if someone is planning to start their career in the IT industry, especially in the administration field, or especially in the cloud computing, DevOps, or cyber security, or the server administration and all the things, then they have to go with this complete package that is much better for them. Okay. And this complete package is only for 7,999 INR. All right. So this is something about your package again. Now, let's go with the Linux server administration. More details about this. Linux server administration today. So we know what is operating system. We have seen this operating system yesterday. So without operating system, literally we cannot manage any hardware, right? To store data, to run application, all right, to take backup, to monitor applications, to monitor data, to monitor the resources. Okay, we need operating system for sure. Without operating system, as you know, your machine is just a dummy machine. I repeat, without operating system, your machine is just a dummy machine. So operating system is mandatory. So how many types of OS we have, friends? We have basically two types of operating systems. One is your server OS and the other one is your client operating system. So server operating system, is the operating system we use to run any application, right? Without server operating system, we cannot run applications like web server, mail server, file server, banking server, gaming server, or any other server actually. So over the internet, what we have? Over the internet, we have these servers. We have these applications, right? So over the internet, everything is application. Whenever you're connecting to anything, it is a application actually. All right. So with this application only, the internet is working, or with this application only, the company businesses are running actually, right? So these applications will run on server operating system. Now coming to the client operating system here, friends, client operating system is designed to run on a desktop machine or on a laptop, right? And it serves one user at a time. Whereas server operating system, to the server operating system, we can connect some hundreds and thousands of users at the same time. Okay. Server operating system, like I said to my friends, some hundreds and thousands of users can be connected at the same time. So this is some basic differences we have seen in our yesterday session. All right. Now, let us see a few more things about the operating system, and let us try to dig deep into the Linux server operating system journey. Now, see here, friends. Operating system can be single user, single task. So when I say single user, single task means the operating system, only one user can be connected. Okay, and they can do only one particular task. One particular task means they can simply open one file, or they can simply download something. Okay, at the same time, they cannot download, or they cannot upload, or they cannot open multiple files. That's not possible. So single user, single task means they can open one file, and they can only one user can be connected. But later on, they realize this is not good. So they have designed an operating system which is like single user but multitask. Multitask means you can do many things here, right? Only one user can connect, but one user can perform different activities. That was good. But again, that was also not so good compared to this multi-user multitask. Multi-user multitask means you know, to one server, many people can connect. Hundreds and thousands of people can connect at the same time, and they can do different tasks at same time. Like suppose, for example, there is a user with the name U1. U1 can connect and they can do multiple tasks on one machine. U2 can connect and they can do multiple tasks on one machine. So this is on multitask. So currently, whatever operating systems we see across the globe, they are multi-user and multi-task operating system. Whether it is Windows or Linux, they are multi-user and multitask. But again, multitasking is better on which operating system? The simple answer is the Linux operating system. Multitasking is better on which OS? It is on Linux OS. Okay, we'll see. We'll see all these things in more details. But as of now, these are the few things that we need to remember here, friends. All right. Now, let us move and let us see few more things about these operating systems. You know this very well, right? A OS can be, graphical user interface or command line interface. You know why people are not that much comfortable with the Linux operating system? One of the major reason is Linux operating system is majorly a command line interface, CLI, command line interface or character line interface. Okay, I repeat, Linux operating system is what? It is a CLI operating system or character operating system. That means to use to use a Linux operating system, you have to use commands and majorly commands. Now the question here is, can we use graphics to perform certain activities? See, we can do everything on Linux server operating system by using graphics. Let me just start the machine here. I repeat here, friends, we can do everything to start, or we can do everything to configure on a Linux operating system by using graphics. GUI is also possible. But, whenever you talk about Linux operating system, you're simply talking about the commands here, actually. So it is majorly famous for commands. All right. Now, let us go and see a brief history of Linux and Unix. What is Unix and what is Linux and all the other things. Okay. So before I go into Unix, I'm very sorry for the session today, my friend. I just want to take a small session. Like I said, I'm not well. I have some, health issues today, fever and some headaches. So I may not continue the session for like, normal 1 hour session. So I just want to go with like 30 to 35 minute session today. All right. So if you have any doubts, any questions, like I said, chat box is always open here, friends. I'm just sending a message in the chat box. I just said hello there. So you can simply send your questions in chat box if you have any. Okay, fine. So what is Unix and what is Linux actually? Or what is the difference between Unix and Linux? Okay, let me do one thing. Let us just keep this topic for maybe tomorrow. Mm, We'll see what is this Unix and what is this Linux and all the other things. Okay, all right. I'll just go with this Unix and Linux. Let's say. Say, these two people on your screen, Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie. Have you ever seen them anywhere on internet? Have you heard about them anytime actually when you were in college or university? Okay, maybe yes, actually, maybe you should, because these are some of the very important people in the history of the technology, maybe. You know what these two people did? Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie, especially Dennis Ritchie. We use C, C++. Who is the father of C, C++? This particular person, Dennis Ritchie. Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie are the two people, my friend, who are responsible for designing the source code of Unix. I repeat, these are the two people who are responsible for designing the source code of Unix. Now, what is a source code? If I just say in a very simple and general terminology, source code is something like a formula. What is source code? It is a formula to do something. For example, we have Coca-Cola, Pepsi, right? There is a formula of Coca-Cola and Pepsi, right? How many companies know the formula of Coca-Cola and Pepsi? Or maybe like only these two people know this formula, right? If many people knows the formula, they can make a alternate drink with some other name. So formula of anything is very important, right? If you know the formula, then you can just make the same product with a different name. Okay, so that is actually a source code. So this Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie, these two people in the year 1969 in a lab known as AT&T and Bell Labs, they developed the source code of Unix. So Unix source code is the, foundation or the basic of most of the operating systems what we use. Okay, so what these people did, they said, listen, this is the source code. This source code is available. You can take this source code and you can develop a new operating system. Okay, these two people have developed the source code, and this source code, this AT&T lab people started selling this source code. I repeat, after Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie has designed this particular source code, you know what this AT&T and lab people they did? They started selling this particular source code. Now, who was taking the source code actually, and why companies were borrowing the source code, or why companies were paying the money for this source code? Companies were paying money for this source code because companies wants to develop their own flavors. Like for example, if you go and see these companies, HP, HPUX, IBM, IBM AIX, Oracle, it was actually Sun Solaris, Solaris, Apple, macOS. So these are some of the very big companies. You know what these companies they did? They said, okay, the source code is available. So we want to pay money and we want to use the source code. This is a commercial era. This was a time when everything was paid actually. Everything we have to pay and use. Okay. So these companies, they have taken the source code of Unix, which was designed or which was developed by Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie. And you know what they started doing? They started selling this particular HPUX, IBM AIX, Sun Solaris, Mac OS to all the different companies. This was a time when, every bit of software was commercial. Got it? So this is small story, my friend. Just try to listen carefully. It makes more sense to understand how important or how big is Linux operating system actually. Okay, so I'll just come again. These two people, like I said, they designed the source code of Unix, and the company started selling the source code to different companies. Different companies started taking the source code and they started developing their own operating system. That was a business deal. Okay. But for companies or for end users, it was very difficult to take the Unix source code developed operating systems like HPUX, IBM AIX, Solaris, Mac OS, and all the other operating systems because they were very costly. Obviously, it was very costly. Okay. So there was a time in 19, let's say, 80s, when a foundation came, a foundation with the name FSF, Free Software Foundation. They said, listen, why we need to pay that much money for a software? Why can't we get a software that is free? Why can't we get an operating system that is free? So these people, they started developing a new software, a new operating system, and they call it as a FSF Foundation, Free Software Foundation. Okay. So they said we need to use a free software. Every person should use a free software, free operating system. Okay. And they developed a new operating system with the name GNU operating system, GNU. Okay, they developed a new operating system with the name GNU. So while they were working on this GNU operating system, there was one more person sitting somewhere actually, and that person is this guy. Can you see this person on your screen? This person is known as, his name is actually Linus Torvalds. Who is this guy? His name is Linus Torvalds. Now see, this is the official message what I'm reading actually. Okay, in the year 1991. See, 25th August 1991, and the university is actually University of Helsinki. And this person said, I am doing a free operating system, just a hobby, won't be as big as the GNU operating system. Can you see here? It won't be as big as the GNU operating system. So this person, whose name is Linus Torvalds, he said, listen, I just want to develop a operating system. I'm just developing a operating system which will be free. I'm just doing as a hobby. Okay. And it will not be as big as the GNU, or it will not be as big as the other Unix flavors, but I'll just try to make it like it is available for free for everyone. But my friend, this person was so, maybe intelligent or maybe smart, okay, or maybe in a way lucky, I can say. That person has developed such a brilliant operating system, or I can say kernel actually. The actual terminology I can use here is of kernel. So this person has developed such a big, such a, smooth and such a easy kernel that, that kernel has changed the structure of IT industry. So this person in the year 1991, he said, I'm developing something. I'm just developing it as a hobby. Okay, it will be freely available, but I'm just developing it as a hobby. So at the end of that, process of developing a new software, he came with a software known as Linux software. He said, okay, this is the formula for a software. This is a formula for an operating system. Okay, so his name is what? His name is Linus Torvalds. Okay, what is his name? Linus Torvalds. And at the end of that particular, process, he came with a operating system name or a kernel name known as Linux, Linux. But what is the condition he made? The condition he made here is he said, listen, the formula is ready now. I'll keep the formula on the internet. You can use the formula. You can, create a new operating system from this formula. You can develop a new operating system from this formula. But the condition here is if you want to use my formula, my source code to develop a new operating system, that operating system you should provide free to customers. What is meaning of customer here? A company is a customer, or a user is a customer, or a person who is in, let's say, university doing some project, he is also a customer. So this person, Linus Torvalds, says, I have designed something, I have developed something which is similar to Unix, but Unix source code is not free, but my Linux source code is absolutely free. Take my source code, develop your own operating system, but the condition here is if you're developing your operating system by using my source code, you should provide that operating system for free to each and every user, each and every customer, each and every company. All right. Because of this person only, we have multiple flavors of Linux operating system. When we say Red Hat Linux server, Red Hat Linux server came because of this guy. When we say Ubuntu Linux server, Ubuntu server came because of this guy. When we say, CentOS, Fedora, Debian, Kali Linux, Amazon Linux, Azure Linux, Oracle Linux, just talk about any server, my friend. Any server operating system that is there with the Linux word, that particular software came from this particular person's formula, and that software is absolutely free. That operating system software is absolutely free. You can install it and you can use it in your home. You can install it and you can use it in your company. You can install it and you can use it over the internet. No one will ask you to pay any money for the license. It is absolutely free. Okay, there are some ifs and buts. There are certain conditions that we will see, but as of now, it is absolutely free to use a Linux server, any flavor or any distribution of the Linux server. Got this story? This is where the software came. So if you just go back a bit into the history here, these two people, they have designed a beautiful source code. They have done much to the industry, IT industry, than, you can imagine any other person can do actually. Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie. Okay, beside, developing C languages and all the other things, they have developed or they have designed a source code for Unix. But, this company, AT&T and Bell Labs, they have made this a commercial success. They started selling it. Okay, so then came with this organization. Which organization here? FSF. Free Software Foundation, and they started developing their own, operating system with the name GNU. GNU was coming into the market. It was a bit successful, but before, it came as a big success. This guy, like I said, this guy, Linus Torvald, he has designed something which has changed the structure of our computer networks. Okay, so for last 30, 33, 34 years, actually, literally every company is using this person's Linux operating system. But is it a Red Hat Linux? It can be Red Hat Linux, it can be Ubuntu Linux, it can be Debian, it can be Fedora, it can be CentOS, it can be Kali Linux. There are multiple, distributions available, or I can say multiple different types of editions available or versions available. There are many companies who are providing you the Linux. So any company who is providing you the Linux operating system, that company has provided the Linux operating system by taking the source code of this person. And like I said, the deal is they have to provide the software free to everyone. So till today, you are getting the software for free. Thanks to this particular guy, every company is getting the software for free. You can simply develop it. You can take the source code, you can develop it by using your name. Let's say tomorrow, if I can just take a name from our friends list. Let's say there is a person here with the name Girish. There is a person here with the name Raman. What Raman can do, Raman can take the source code of this particular person, the Linux source code. He can develop a new operating system and he can say Raman Linux. And he can provide this operating system for free. Okay, so Raman has not developed the kernel. Raman has not developed the formula. Formula is developed by this particular person, Linux Torvald. Raman is using that formula, but the condition here is Raman should provide the software for free to all the end users or all the companies. Whatever the size of the company may be, it can be the biggest company on the face of the earth. They can still use the free software available. All right. Now the question here is, if they are providing the free software, how the companies are surviving? They are not NGOs, right? They are simply not NGOs. They cannot provide everything for free. If they are providing everything for free, they need to pay money to their, employees, isn't it? They need to pay money to their employees. They just need to, manage everything there. It's not possible for everyone to literally provide services for free. So they are earning money in a different way. How they are earning money, I'll explain you. But as of now, I can say you can simply download a Red Hat operating system, Red Hat Linux operating system, and you can simply use it for free without paying money. All right. Thanks to this particular guy, things have been changed drastically. All right. Now, I hope you understood how this story came here. Because of those, Unix and the commercial success of Unix flavors and all the other things, companies were very difficult to pay the money and all these things. And now they started using it for free. Great. Now let us try to go there and see some of the features of Linux. I may continue the session only for next 10-15 minutes, friends. I'm very sorry for today. Like I said, you am not completely well to conduct a session, but still I'm taking a small session here. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, any doubts, you can simply ping me in the chat box. Or if you want to talk to me directly, well and good, you can simply unmute yourself and you can talk to me directly. This is the second demo session, friends. Tomorrow we have one more demo session before we start our, regular classes. See, when I say demo session, we have actually started our course. Okay, but these demo sessions were used majorly for question answers, for clearing doubts and everything. For tomorrow, maybe the sessions will not be available on YouTube. The sessions will be directly shared with the registered people only. As of now, yesterday's session is available on YouTube. Today's session will also be uploaded on YouTube, and maximum tomorrow's session is also uploaded on YouTube. But after that, like I said, the sessions will be only shared with the people who have registered for this particular course. Okay, there are a few more people who have already registered for this course. Hopefully, they will join from tomorrow, and we are expecting few new joinings here. All right, let's see. Let's try to understand the features of Linux operating system. Now, see, it is a open source operating system. Open source operating system, like I said, source code is available for free. Take the source code, use, and develop your own operating system. I'm not saying like every company is literally developing the operating system. No. But there are many companies, there are some hundreds of companies who are developing the operating system, the Linux operating system. All right. So they are developing, they're adding their new features there, and they are saying, okay, our Linux operating system is better than that particular company's Linux operating system. But friends, if you know any one Linux, let's say if you know Red Hat Linux, can you work on Ubuntu? Yeah. Can you work on, let's say, Fedora? Yeah. Can you work on, let's say, SUSE? Yes. So if you know any one flavor, you can work on all the other flavors, all the other distributions. I'm not saying they will be exactly same, but still, overall the architecture will still remain same. Okay. So Linux is an open source operating system. Anyone can take this source code and anyone can develop their own operating system. And the next big thing here is it is hardware independent. Remember from Unix, HP UX, IBM AIX, Sun Solaris, Mac OS, all these very big operating systems came in 1980s or early 1980s. But the problem with those operating systems where you can run HP AIX only on the HP machine, Sun Solaris only on the Sun hardware, okay, Mac OS only on the Apple machines. They were not hardware independent. They can run only on their particular selected hardware. So it was very difficult for companies actually to pay money for a certain hardware type and then pay money for the operating system. But today, when you go with your Linux operating system you can install on any hardware. Let's say it can be a desktop machine or a laptop machine or any sort of server machine with any hardware configuration. Let us say 2 GB RAM, 1 GB RAM. It can be Intel processor, it can be AMD processor, it can be Celeron processor, it can be Xeon processor. Literally, it can be any processor, my friend. Hardware is not at all a issue today. We can simply run our Linux operating system literally on any hardware. All right, this is one of the best feature we have. Now, this is your multi-user, multitask operating system. Means if there is a server here, let's say there is a Linux server here. To this Linux server, my friend, multiple people can connect. From multiple locations, multiple people can connect to this server and every user can perform a different task. Okay, let's say my responsibility is taking backup. I can connect, I can take backup. Your responsibility is, let's say, sharing. You can connect and you can share the resources. Some other person responsibilities, let's say, monitoring. They can connect and they can do monitoring. Some other person responsibilities, let us say, managing softwares. So they can connect to the same server and they can manage the software. See, many people can connect and many people can do tasks at same time. Now, you may say this is also possible in Windows operating system. Exactly. It is also possible in Windows operating system, but Windows operating system will consume more resources compared to the Linux operating system. All right. So with less resources utilization, hundreds and thousands of people can connect and they can perform different tasks at same time. Okay. So this is your multi-user and multitasking. And the Linux operating system can be CLI as well as your GUI, command line interface as well as your graphical interface. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of less weight operating system? So when I say less weight operating system, you can simply take 1 GB RAM and you can install your Linux operating system and you can work smoothly on that Linux operating system. With how much GB RAM? With only 1 GB RAM, you can do the installation as well as you can do the configuration there. 1 GB RAM is not a big deal, right? See, why I'm talking about hardware so much here. There is a reason, my friend. Today, most of the applications they are running in cloud, right? So when you go to a cloud, you will be selecting the hardware in cloud and you'll be selecting the operating system in cloud. Again, the most preferable operating system in cloud is your Linux. Okay, so when you're running Linux operating system in cloud, let's say you're taking 1 GB of RAM. So if you're taking 1 GB, let's say you're paying $2, for example. Because in cloud, we have to pay and we have to use resources, right? So if you take 1 GB and you're paying $2. But what if your operating system requirement is, let us say, 8 GB? If the operating system requirement is 8 GB, then how much we need to pay here now? We need to pay $16, isn't it? If you're taking more resources, you have to pay more money. So the advantage in the Linux operating system is with very less hardware resources, my friend, we can run our operating system smoothly. So we can pay less money and we can still get the best performance possible. This is what we have in our Linux operating system. It is a less weight operating system. It will consume very less resources. Okay. And the hardware can be of any company or of any size. Done. And the support is available in multiple languages. Like for example, someone is in China, they are using a Linux server, so they can get the support in the Chinese language. Suppose someone is in Germany, they can get the support in the German language. Suppose I'm a Telugu guy, so Telangana and Andhra, I can use the Telugu language and I can get the support in the Telugu language. Does it make sense actually? Is it a feature that we have to discuss? Of course, it's a very big feature we have to discuss, my friend. See, maybe in India, most of us can speak English. We can understand or we can, say something in English. But, there are many countries where they just try to go with their own local language, let's say Chinese or German or French or Spanish or Arabic. So for them, when they are using this Linux server operating system, and in case if they have any problem in the Linux server operating system, if they want to take this support, then they can take support from the official Linux team, Red Hat team, in their own language. Okay, in India also, they support multiple languages like Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, Hindi. These are some of the very, Bengali. These are some of the very big and very famous languages what they support actually. All right. So these are some of the features. Let me just add few more things actually. And Linux is simply compatible with all the latest technologies. Whatever latest technologies my friend, let's say AI, artificial intelligence, blockchain, machine learning, any database technologies, any DevOps technologies, any cyber security technologies, any tools that we use for hacking. Literally everything will run on your Linux operating system. Now listen, my friend, if you want to go with, let's say, cyber security, there are certain different versions we have to use in Linux. So what we are learning here, the Linux server administration will still remain same in all the other Linux flavors. Okay, but for, let's say, ethical hacking, we use a Linux known as Kali Linux. That's quite famous. Okay, for database, maybe you go with a separate Linux. Okay, for the server administration, you go with, let's say, RHEL, that is Red Hat, or let's say Ubuntu. So there are different types of, distributions available. But overall, whatever technology is available today, my friend, and I can say this with 100% guarantee, whatever technology comes in future, every technology will work on the Linux operating system only. I repeat, every technology will definitely work on your Linux operating system only. This is such an important part of our life, my friend. Non-technical people, they don't know that, literally every day they are using Linux, or every day they are connecting to Linux. Every day they are connecting to the Linux server. On top of the Linux server, there is an application running there, right? So every day they are connecting to the Linux server there. All right. But as a technical person, we should know, okay, which Linux server is much better for this particular application or for this particular technology. Done. And then we have very regular updates. Updates are very important, right? Like, we get updates on WhatsApp, or we get updates in our laptop. We get updates on your operating system. So what are these updates? Updates are new features, are like, they are like, some, if there are some bugs available, they may remove the bugs. So updates are very much important. So in Linux, we get regular. Although it is a free operating system, but still we will get our updates regularly. Okay. And like I said, you literally, it will support all the applications, whatever we have currently. Okay. And security wise, this is one of the best feature we have in Linux. It has brilliant default security available. See, security is possible in every operating system, but what if by default security is better? By default security is very good. So in the Linux operating system, my friend, default security is much better compared to the extra added security there. Okay, so we'll see what is the security feature and all the other things. And virus free. One of the very common issues we face, or companies face for last many decades actually in the computer networks, is of virus. And when I say Linux is virus free, I'm not saying it is 100% virus free. There are a few cases where a Linux is affected with a virus. It's possible. I'm not saying like it is 100% free, but in majority of cases, it is not easy for a virus to come into the Linux server or to spread into the Linux server. Okay, so when I say virus free, there are very few cases in the history where some virus was recorded in the Linux server operating system. See, what else you need, my friend? What else a company needs to run their application? More security, no virus, better support, okay, compatible with all the technologies, okay, available in multiple language, very less hardware utilization. It is available in CLI as well as GUI, multi-user, multitasking, open source. What else you need? Everything is literally available in your Linux operating system. So today, if you go and analyze the internet, majority of servers, they are running on the Linux operating system. Majority of applications, they are running on the Linux operating system. When I say majority, I'm talking about 85%, approximately 85% of applications on the internet, they are running on Linux. And if you just go with any latest technology, it is on Linux. If you're planning to go with cloud computing, Linux is mandatory. If you want to go with programming, Linux is mandatory. If you want to go with like DevOps or cyber security, ethical hacking or coding or anything, again, Linux is mandatory. This is one thing that it will be there with you for rest of your life. If if you want to get success in the IT industry, in any of the field, then you have to go with this Linux administration for free. For sure. Linux administration should be mentioned on your resume for sure. All right. Not only to pursue a career in Linux, but to pursue a career in some other technology, Linux is literally mandatory. I can just go on and go on and go on and can take, let's say, another 3 classes only on the features of Linux. Still, the 3 classes will not be sufficient actually. That many advantages are there in Linux. And again, let us be thankful to this particular guy, Linus Torvalds, who has developed this beautiful, beautiful source code. And because of this source code and because of the deal he has done, what is the deal? It should be free. It should be free for everyone. It is free for you, it is free for me, or it is free for any XYZ multinational company. They can use it for free and they can simply, run their application there without paying any money to the license. All right, done. This is the way it works. Now, let me just show you a few distributions here. Linux distributions, the most famous are Red Hat distribution, Debian distribution, and SUSE. In Red Hat, the most famous is RHEL, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and in Debian family, the Ubuntu is quite famous. These are the two widely used Linux operating systems across the globe. If you know RHEL, you can work on Ubuntu. Right? So we are learning RHEL here, Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Once you learn the RHEL, you can work on CentOS, Debian, SUSE, or any other distribution that is available currently in the market. Let me just show you a few more very famous distributions. See, you know these companies, right? Amazon, Oracle, Azure is your Microsoft. So Amazon people have their own operating system known as Amazon Linux. Oracle people have Oracle Linux. Microsoft people have Microsoft Azure Linux, and Kali Linux is actually used for hacking purpose. So all this Linux operating system, what these different companies are developing, they are all developing by taking the kernel of or by taking the source code of Linus Torvalds. He is the guy who has developed it, and he is the guy who said, remember, it should be free. So all these companies are developing their own version and they are providing it for free to different components of a different purpose. So literally, this is what we have, my friend. This is the Linux operating system we have that we are using and that we are running. Wantedly or unwantedly, knowingly or unknowingly, we are literally using. See, right now we are using the Zoom application, right? If you just go and do the server, if you just go and do all the checking or all check all the details of the Zoom application app, I can say with 100% guarantee, my friend, the Zoom app will be running on top of our Linux operating system. YouTube, it will be running on Linux operating system. Netflix, it will be running on Linux operating system. This is such a, important operating system we have. Okay, so without this, we simply cannot imagine internet today, or we simply cannot imagine any technology or any business today. All right, so this is something about your Linux operating system. So I hope you understood the story here. Let me just go back to the story a bit more. See, these two people. See, these are the two people who have made big changes in the technology industry. Okay, but the business was not in their hand. They developed the source code, and their decision was not to sell the source code. But they were working for a particular XYZ company, so that was the company's decision to sell the source code. So once the company started selling the source code, many companies they started buying the source code, and they started making a new operating system by using the source code and selling this new operating system in market. It was just a pure business decision, a commercial decision. But for the end user, this decision was not good, because for the end user, if they are paying huge amount of money, my friend, then it's not good for the business, right? Okay. So then a new person came, or a new guy came with the name Linus Torvalds. He has again redesigned everything, and he has offered this operating system, or the source code of this operating system, for free. All right, fine. So see, we are still in very basics here, friends, but basics are again very important to understand any of the main features. So yeah, before we move into all the technical stuff, let us just try to complete the basics first, and let's see what we can do. Okay, there is a question here. I am non-IT guy. I'm still allowed to learn and get the chance as a... See, my friend, this particular package where I have added three courses, right? Let me just, write it down again here. Linux, CCNA, and AWS. This particular package where there are three courses, these three courses, I'm starting from the scratch level, my friend. I'm literally starting from the very basics. So if you're a fresher with zero knowledge of IT industry or zero knowledge of any technology, you're still 100% eligible to learn this and 100% eligible to start your career in this. Okay, so everything Linux, CCNA, AWS, I'll be handling all the three classes, and I'll be taking classes from very basics actually. So today's session, you can see it was a very basic session, right? When I say virus support, you know what is virus? When I say security is better, I just said security is better, but how security is better, that we will see technically when time comes. Okay, so like this, I'll be designing, or I'll be going through each and every topic from very basic up to the advanced level. So if you're having zero experience after completing this particular package, Linux, CC, and AWS, you can at least put 2.5 to 3 years of experience. So let's say maximum 2.5 to 3 years of experience in your resume, and you can easily apply for jobs. I will not recommend you to go with more than 3 years of experience if you're not having any. Just maximum go with like 2 to 3 years of experience. More than 3 years of experience means you're simply putting more burden on yourself. All right, so better go with like 2 to, let's say, 3 years of experience. That much understanding, that much knowledge you will definitely get here for sure. Of course, I'm here for to guide you, my friend. Don't worry about the support that you'll get from my side. I'll be sharing some more details about me, like my mail ID and my WhatsApp number. So just try to follow the classes regularly, and you can definitely learn this, you can definitely understand this, and you can definitely get many opportunities. You will definitely get opportunities when you apply for a job. The company will look the technical stuff what you have in that particular domain. All right, what you did in college or university, just a bachelor's or a master's degree, but what technical courses you have done, your interviews will be done on those technical courses. Maybe let's say someone has done BCom. You know what is BCom, right? So when someone has done BCom, when they apply for job on, let's say, technical field, let's say, servers or cloud or networking, company will say, okay, you are a bachelor's, you hold a bachelor's degree, great. Now let us see what you know in the IT field, what you know in the CCNA, what you know in the Linux, and what you know in the AWS. So they will take interview based on what you know in this particular technical things. Okay. Now there is a question here, any job support from your end? Learning support is there from my side, my friend. Job support, no one will provide you the job support. Okay, it just Uh, it just a, I can say a dialogue to say maybe. Job support is a responsibility of the consultancies. Institute is one thing and job support is one thing. Institutes have provided the training. Just try to take the best training possible. Job opportunities you will get from different platforms. You can just go and consult any consultancy, or you can just try to upload your resume in many different, job portals there, or many, walkings will be there. There are multiple ways to get an interview call. Okay. But the most important thing actually here is a learning. If you learn the concept, then, things will be easy for you to apply for jobs or to get a interview call actually, right? So from my side, I will support you in learning process. Job, I don't think anyone will, take you till the company and they will say, okay, this is your job from today. You can just come and you can just do this particular work. No, you need to learn the concept, my friend. If you learn the concept, the job will come for sure. You know, the interview will come for sure. The major thing is you should know the concept. You should learn the concept. Okay. You should definitely learn the concept first. How long the course would be? That's the next question. See, like I said, you Linux administration will take, okay, overall, if you want to see, let's say 100 days. Maximum how many days? 100 days. See, today evening, I'm starting a CCNA batch at 10 a.m. Sorry, 10 p.m. Okay, I'm starting a new CCNA batch at 10 p.m. So if you can come in Linux at, let's say, 7 a.m., the current time 7 a.m. and CCNA at 10 a.m. In next 35 days, you can finish your AWS as well as CCNA. You can finish your Linux as well as CCNA. Job done. 35 to, let's say, maximum 40 days. Today's what day? April 22nd, right? So by the end of May, you will finish your Linux as well as CCNA. Then in June and till the mid-July, actually, you can finish your AWS. So you have this opportunity now. Like I said, you friends, we are starting CCNA class today at 10 p.m. Today is the first class. So if you can come in Linux administration at 7 a.m. and CCNA at 10 a.m. in and around, let's say, 40 days, you can finish both the courses. Then you will be left with only AWS. AWS will be super easy for you if you know the networking concepts as well as server administration concepts. Okay, so then you can go with this AWS at any time. Morning, we are starting AWS regularly. Evening, we are starting AWS regularly. Every week, every 10 days, we'll definitely start at least one batch out of these 3 batches. So as of now, this is a good opportunity for you friends to go with 2 classes in one day. 7 a.m. Linux server and 10 p.m. CCNA. Can we do both in one day? Of course. Will it be difficult to learn both technologies or both courses? No. It will not be a difficult task for you to learn both classes or both courses in one day, my friend. It will be super easy. All right.
Sir, today's 9 p.m. class is available today, na?
Yeah, 9 p.m. class is available, Raman. That's a regular class. I'm starting a new batch there.
Okay.
Season a new batch. So that's a different thing. 9 p.m.
Okay.
batch is available. Okay, there is a question for season evening batch. Do we need to join separately and fee as well? See, like I said, you for this complete package, the fees is 7,999. 7,999 is not for CCNA only or Linux only. 7,999 is for this complete package, Linux, CCNA, and AWS. So I know many people have already paid in this package, so they will be coming in Linux administration at 7 a.m. regularly, and CCNA maybe few people are coming in 9 p.m. and new people will come at 10 p.m. That's it. Fees is same for package 7,999 AC fees. In case if someone is coming only for the Linux administration, then probably they'll be paying 5,000 fees only for the Linux administration. Someone is coming only for CCNA, they'll be paying 5,000 for CCNA. Someone is coming only for AWS, they'll be paying 6,000 for AWS. So totally they'll be paying 16,000 rupees if they are coming separately. But if they come in package, say this is exactly 50% or maybe less than 50% of your actual fees. Got it? Like I said, I was not well actually. I'm still not well, but luckily I have conducted a session today. So maximum by evening, I'll be much better. So things will be like, organized in much better way. Like I said, I'll be taking all the three classes here, Linux, CCNA, as well as AWS. Currently, I have like two AWS batches going on at different times. I'm not saying you can come in that batch because they have already in one batch, maybe I have completed 30%, or let's say 50% actually. In another batch, I have just started 2 weeks before. So I will not recommend you to join those AWS batches as of now, but Linux and CCNA, they're completely fresh batches. So it will be a great opportunity for you to come and just start this Linux and CCNA at this particular times. All right, so yeah, that's it for the day, friends. That was the session for today. And like I said, this session will also be uploaded on YouTube today. And from tomorrow, the sessions will not be uploaded. Tomorrow, the last session, which we will see another demo session, and that session will also be uploaded on YouTube. But after tomorrow, you will not see sessions on YouTube. You will see sessions directly shared with you. Okay. AWS fresh batch date. We'll announce AWS hopefully at the end of this week, because right now we are working only on the Linux administration batch and the CCNA batch. Once we are done with these two batches by the end of this week, we'll announce a AWS batch time. It will be obviously in morning, or it can be in evening, anytime. It can be 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. in morning, or it can be 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 10 p.m., something like this. Okay, so all these names, what I'm saying here, they already came yesterday, and few more people will definitely join us from tomorrow because they've already paid for this particular course. And done, I can say Sukanta as a new name. Hopefully you understood, my friend, what we have discussed today. Any questions, any doubts, you can just reach me at any time. You can just try to clear everything, because the best advantage you can take in a live session is you can clear your doubts. You have the option of interacting with the trainer. Not only here, like I said, you can interact with me. You can clear all your doubts through WhatsApp, or through the mails and everything. I'll share all the details in a couple of days, so that you should not take any doubt with you. Taking a doubt means still you're not learning things perfectly. I always say this: the best advantage you can take in a live session is to interact with the trainer. So I'll provide you 100% facility to interact with me and to clear each and everything. If you're not comfortable with maybe like talking with me in the middle of the class, I will not recommend you to go with your unmuting option in the middle of the class. Just go with the chat box. But at the end of the session, if you want to say something, if you want to have some more discussion on that particular topic, well and good. At the end of the class, you can unmute yourself, but in the middle of the class, always try to use the chat box. Okay, so I guess, yeah, we can stop the session here for today, friends. I'm here still for like 30 more seconds. I'm happy actually. I could take class for like 1 hour. I was expecting a class like for 30 to 35 minutes, but anyhow, I have done a normal 1 hour session here. So thanks for being here for one hour with a bit less energy from my side. Normally my sessions will not be so dull. It will be more energetic and all those things. But due to some health issues, I'm not so you know energetic today. But still, thanks a lot for being here for 1 hour. Okay, so I'm still here for like 30 more seconds. Any doubt, we will see. Else we'll stop the session for today, and let's meet again tomorrow at same time to see more about your Linux supports. Okay, all right. So I guess there are no more questions here, friends. We'll just stop the session here and we'll meet again tomorrow at same time, 7 a.m. India Standard Time with few more details of Linux server administration. I can just say one thing, my friend. Whenever you learn, wherever you learn, it's up to you. Just learn this particular Linux server administration, networking, that is CCNA, and Amazon Web Services, that is cloud computing, to get a bright and great future, my friend. For next 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, what you're learning in this package, this will remain with you forever. Whatever technology changes, whatever new things comes, these things, what you're learning in Linux, CCNA, and the AWS will remain with you for many, many years to come. You'll be making your career on this particular package. This is such an important package for anyone who is willing to start their career in this particular IT industry. Okay. So before I go, I just want to wish all the good luck for you, friends. And let's meet again tomorrow at 7 a.m. and let's see a few more things. But before I go, like I said, you just try to plan everything properly. Planning is actually the first, step towards your successful career. If you're not planning things properly, success will not come for sure, my friend. So planning is the most important thing. So just try to go to Google and search more about these courses. Why these three courses? What is importance of these three courses? You will definitely understand how big are these three courses. There are very few people. I don't know actually anyone or any institute who is providing these three courses in one package. Okay. So this is a great opportunity. Just try to grab this and just try to learn things in the best way possible. All right. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow at same time, 7 a.m. India Standard Time with more about Linux administration. Done? Bye.